So today, we're going to break down 5 incredibly powerful habits, all inspired by the wisdom of Shi Hang Yi. And look, these are just little life hacks. These are the real deal, the foundational practices that build discipline, focus, and, real self-control. Okay, let's get into it.
You ever have that feeling? You're working hard, you're putting in the hours, but you just feel like you're running in place while other people are just blasting off. What's going on there? What's the secret sauce they have that you don't? Well, here's the thing, the big secret, the brutal truth of it all. It's almost never about some crazy talent or just getting lucky. It really comes down to something you actually have control over, the small, consistent things you do every single day. And that brings us to this idea of the modern habit gap. See, this is the space between just letting life happen to you and intentionally making life happen for you. And the best part? Anyone can learn to cross this gap.
I mean, this slide really lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the default mode for most of us. You wake up and immediately you're just reacting to a storm of notifications, emails, and other people's problems. But on the other side, you have people who don't just get through the day. They decide upfront what the day is gonna be.
So how do you actually cross that gap? Well, it all starts right here with mastering your morning. Think about it. Those first few hours of the day, that's when your willpower and your focus are at their absolute peak. How you use that time literally sets the tone for everything else. And winning the morning, it really boils down to this simple 2-step game plan. First, you protect that first hour of your day. You build a fortress around your time and your attention. Then, from inside that fortress, you go on the attack and you conquer the hard thing first. Just think about it for a second. What's the very first thing most people do when they wake up? They grab their phone. You're immediately letting in a flood of other people's drama, their requests, their opinions. So the first habit is simple. Stop. That first hour, that's your time. Use it to read, to think, to plan. Don't just give away your most valuable asset for free. And now for part 2 of mastering that morning, doing the hard thing. Why? Because comfort is a trap. Hitting the snooze button, scrolling Instagram instead of doing that workout. See, every time you choose what's comfortable, you're making your willpower just a little bit weaker. But when you tackle the hard thing first, you build that willpower like a muscle. All right, so once you've started to claim your morning, the next step is to claim your mind. And this leads us to our 3rd habit, which is all about finding power in silence. This screen probably looks and feels really familiar. This is the soundtrack of modern life, isn't it? It's just a constant barrage of noise from the outside world that keeps our minds in a state of chaos. We never actually get a quiet moment to just think. And that's the whole point. Habit number 3 is to intentionally create moments of silence. Seriously, try this tomorrow. Go for a walk and leave your headphones at home, or just sit for 10 minutes with absolutely no input. It's about making space to finally hear your own thoughts. Because the answers you're looking for, they're not out there in the noise. They're waiting for you, in the quiet. Okay, this next one, this is the glue that holds everything else together. All the other habits we're talking about, the discipline, the focus, they're all built on this one simple but incredibly difficult foundation, self-trust. Think about this. If you tell a friend you'll help them move, you show up, right? If you tell your boss you'll get a report done, you do it. But what about the promises we make to ourselves? I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to eat healthier. So often, those are the very first promises we break. And over time, that just teaches our brain that our own word to ourselves doesn't really mean much. So habit number 4 is all about reversing that damage. It's about starting to make and keep tiny promises to yourself. And I mean tiny. I will drink 1 glass of water as soon as I wake up. Every time you follow through, you're casting a vote for the person you want to be. You're rebuilding that trust, one small kept promise at a time. And that brings us to our final habit, number 5. This one is about protecting that self-trust you're building, and you do that through subtraction, by removing the things that weaken you. It means being really honest with yourself about the mindless scrolling, the negative people, the conversations that just drain you, and maybe most important of all, learning to catch and drop the excuses we tell ourselves. So where does all this leave us? These 5 habits, they aren't some magic pill for overnight success. What they are is a practical, step-by-step path to taking back control. It's a roadmap back to you. And honestly, this is the most beautiful part of this whole idea. The goal isn't to turn yourself into some hyper-disciplined robot you don't even recognize. It's about stripping away all the noise, all the distractions, all the self-doubt, so that the strong, focused, and capable person you already are can finally come through.
So let's make this real, right now. Forget about trying to overhaul your entire life by morning. The whole journey starts with just one single step. So I'll leave you with this question. What is the one small promise you will absolutely keep to yourself tomorrow? Because that's where it all begins.